In this lesson, we will be working on installing Flutter in macOS. This will work for both Apple Silicon and Intel based machines, alright? And for installing Flutter in macOS, we have two options. The first option is installing Flutter manually. For that, navigate into flutter.dev, click at Get Started, select macOS, select Android or iOS and follow these steps. But there are a lot of steps, so it's better we go with the second solution. And the second option is installing Flutter using Homebrew. Homebrew is a package manager and it makes a lot easier and hassle-free for installing Flutter in our device. So let's get started with Homebrew. For that, navigate into brew.sh and install this package manager by using this command. Copy this command and now open up your terminal. You can open the terminal from the Spotlight search, or you can open up your Launchpad and then get the terminal. Now in terminal, paste the command for installing Homebrew and you may be prompted for the password. Enter password and allow few minutes for installation to complete. After this is installed, you might be getting this warning about a missing path. If you don't see this warning, then nothing else needs to be done, alright? But if you are seeing this warning, then we need to run some commands. There are two commands in this next section that needs to be executed. So first copy this first command, paste it and hit enter. Now copy this second command, paste it and hit enter. So now to check if Homebrew is installed successfully, type brew space --version, and if you are getting this version of Homebrew, then we are good to go. So now let's use Homebrew for installing Flutter. Move into Homebrew main page, search for Flutter, and then you will get the installation command for installing Flutter using Homebrew. Copy this command, open up terminal again and paste it. Now this might take some time to install. So once the installation is complete, to ensure that Flutter is successfully installed, type Flutter space --version, and if you are getting this Flutter version over here, Flutter has been installed successfully. So next what we want to do is to install Android Studio in our device, because it's required for the Android app development, and through this entire course we will be testing Flutter app on Android emulators, so we'll be needing this software. So search for download Android Studio, navigate into the download page and click at download. Accept the agreement and download Android Studio based on your device, either Apple Silicon or Intel. Once downloaded, click at the file and move it to applications. Now open up your Launchpad and launch Android Studio. Now when launching Android Studio, you might be getting this dialog. Select this do not import settings and click at OK. Now don't send. Click at next. Now select the custom settings and next. So everything seems alright here. Click at next, next again, and now accept all the license. And now click at finish. This will download all the necessary resources and it might take some time. When everything is downloaded and installed, click at finish. Now you will be getting this dialog in Android Studio. Click at more options, move into this SDK manager, and now we'll be downloading the tools required for Android app development. So in this SDK platform tab, make sure that this latest version of Android is selected, alright? So I'll be selecting this Android 14.0. Now move into this SDK tools tab and make sure that this Android SDK build tools is selected, and now we'll be checking some of the few tools required for the development. So NDK should be downloaded, and then we need this Android SDK command line tools. We also need this CMake, and this Android emulator and SDK platform tool is already selected. So click at OK and confirm the installation. OK. And then this will download the tools and everything that is required for the Android app development. So after the installation is done, click at more actions again and then virtual device manager, and now we'll be creating an emulator. You might already have an emulator, but let's create one anyways. Now select the size. I want the phone to be of medium size. Now select the Android version. You'll find the latest version around here somewhere in these tabs. So it's right here. So select this, click at next, and you do not need to change anything over here, but you can change this AVD name, but I'll not change it. Let's keep it as it is. Click at next, and now we have an emulator created over here. Let's launch this emulator. And now we have this Android emulator here, and throughout this course we'll be using this emulator for testing our apps. So now let's see if everything is ready for Flutter app development. For that, open up your terminal and type Flutter space doctor. This command will check if everything is okay with Flutter. So you might be getting some warning and error here. But first let's solve this license error in our Flutter Doctor. So type Flutter Doctor space and then double dash Android dash licenses. Now to accept the license, type Y and hit enter. Do it again, Y, enter, again, Y, enter, Y, enter. And now we have accepted all the license. So let's run Flutter Doctor again. So in my Flutter Doctor, I am getting an error saying that Xcode is not installed. This Xcode is required to develop iOS apps from Mac. But this is optional for now because we will only be testing Flutter app in Android emulator throughout this course. And you can set this up later. So let's ignore it. And here you might be getting another error saying that BS Code is not installed because we have not installed BS Code for now. And we'll be installing this BS Code in our next lesson. So now Flutter has been installed on your device and we are ready to develop apps through Flutter. So I'll see you at the next lesson.